Welcome to YellBro. I'm Jordan, and today we're going to talk about how Donald Trump is going to save the day and save AI and make sure it never goes woke. But first, do not forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Thank you very much. All right, so this video is going to be less about policy-ish and more about the ideas of things and where things could possibly go wrong. Because as far as I understand, during this little presentation, or maybe after or before this speech, he signed in a new AI bill. Right, the thing that people were trying to avoid with some of these past votes, like within the Congress, where they were like having like a kind of a 10-year moratorium on local communities being able to stop like the overuse of AI through all sectors of their towns, cities, villages, whatever. And you know what? Let's be honest. These guys are going to force things through anyways. They're already doing Pentagon deals, right? They signed something pretty recently to issue out military contracts to people like ChatGPT or OpenAI, the company, XAI, that's the Elon Musk one, Grok for the government, Google's AI thing, and let's be honest. It's going to be everywhere. The Trump administration's excuse and reasoning is that they want to be in the forefront. They don't want to be caught behind by like someone like China or Russia or some of these other bigger nations that are also going to be implementing AI if they haven't already, right? I mean, they have already. Let's be honest. China, come on. So yeah, it's kind of like a Cold War arms race, but with AI. And the idea that I actually want to go over is this whole idea of wokeness. Not wokeness, but like the idea of programming the AI to be biased in a certain direction. And it's like, wait a minute. And I've had people tell me about, machine learning and that it just learns, it can just, let it go and it'll just start learning things from all over the internet and all that shit, right? The computerized communications, like they'll just pick up on things that we want and kind of make it happen, right? But when you hear a guy like this, and granted, he's probably a dumb fuck on AI, like the actual application of AI, he's probably a dumb fuck on that. He's just like, all right, fine, I'll fucking... JD, hey JD, what do you want me to sign? All right, okay, we'll do that. I'll get your little tech buddies in here. Don't worry, it'll make us filthy rich. All right, you have this guy's probably a dumb fuck, but you also have guys that are actually creators of these things, right? This is, hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this, but you have Sam Altman, right? CEO of OpenAI. And as you can see there, totally could be used to rig elections, but we don't. Meaning, just trust us, we won't fuck around with this thing. Now, how would they rig elections? I assume they mean like influence. So I'm going to play this clip. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but I heard Theo Von's pretty strict about these things, but fuck them. Who cares? Here we go.
Is this going to spread fake information? Is this going to influence elections? But we've never had you can't say bad things about the president, Trump or whatever.
What about
bias is a big, like they do want to know, like, if it'll say bad things about one candidate, it'll say bad things about the other.
Could you guys make it do one or the other? Like, can you guys favor the back end or like?
We totally could. I mean, we don't, but we totally could.
You could.
Yeah.
See, that should be very worrying because Sam Altman, once again, if this AI thing's here to stay, right? Sam Altman does not live forever. Even if not that I'm taking his word for it, right? Or anyone in the company's word for it. It's more of the idea, like, let's say they were about that. They were like, yo, we're going to make sure this thing is unbiased, their version of unbiased. We're going to make sure of that. But what happens if someone else takes over? I think I've heard ideas of, like, the government, like, buying contracts with these companies, using their technology, and then just, like, quietly making their own version of it, and then rewriting some code. It's a little conspiratorial, but Is that possible based on what we've seen from government? I mean, the Epstein shit alone, right? So, yeah, that should be worrying for people. Uh, I'll play more, but that should, like, he's kind of putting his hands up and say, yeah, we wouldn't do that. We would never do that. It's like, well, maybe you wouldn't, but someone else would, possibly. Fuck. And honestly, like, I don't trust this guy either. Right? But here we go. Doing Pentagon contracts for warfare, bro? You're instantly untrustworthy to me off rip. And this AI stuff is not some sort of neutral machine learning fucking thing. Like, they can actually edit things and change the database. And I'm only talking so that I don't get copyrighted. And I'm going to hit play now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, like,
how do we know you? How do we, like, do we give you guys lie detector tests every, like, how do we know you?
We have to, like, test the system. I mean, anyone can, like, test the AI and say, if I say this, does it say this? If I say that,
that's a good point.
But you touch on a really big point here, which is, like,
sorry for pausing, but I just want to. You can kind of test it by saying, "Is Trump a piece of shit?" And AI is like, "No, he's awesome. He's King God guy." Right? But if you influence enough people already, like outside of the AI, if people get influenced in a direction, then that could be considered like, "Oh, yeah, this is legit. This works. This makes sense. This is legit." Imagine that with something less political, let's say, well, it's kind of political, but something like atheism versus religion, or religion versus religion, right? And if you live in a country where maybe a particular religion is favored, and the AI spits out like, well, yes, this religion is the best, and it's the most correct. It is correct, actually. And the other ones are dumb and stupid. Maybe people wouldn't notice that the thing is malfunctioning and biased. Like, see how, like, the psychology of the thing, of the scenario, meeting with the psychology that built the AI in the first place? You got to be aware of these things. Because if we all come to a collective agreement about something that could actually be incorrect, that means generations of people will look up the answer for something and get the incorrect answer that we were all thinking the whole time. Meanwhile, they were fucking wrong. Right? Newton's idea of gravity got replaced by Einstein's. Now imagine if in Newton's time someone was some AI person, or there was AI and shit, right? And they established like, yeah, Newton's thing is correct. Period. It might be a mountain to climb for the Einstein guy to replace that idea. It's a little weird example, but whatever. All right, here we go.
We're like, how do we know?
We have to, like, test the system. I mean, anyone can, like, test the AI and say, if I say this, does it say this? If I say that,
that's a good point.
But you touch on a really big point here, which is, like, hundreds of millions of people talk to ChatGPT every day. And it probably has, like, a big impact on what they believe. And so I think society's interest in making sure that we are, a responsible, neutral party should be huge.
That's actually, it's like, I didn't watch all this clip, so that's fucking interesting right there. It's basically what I was saying. Like, if us as a society is believing one way and we're feeding this machine, biased answers, and then we're just going through a feedback loop, we'd be fucked, wouldn't we? We'd kind of be fucked. So he's agreeing with what I'm saying. So that's an interesting thing to point out from his perspective. But once again, there is no, like, oh, I just trust you shit with anyone involved in all this AI and tech shit. Just being honest. Now let's get to someone I really don't trust, which is this orange fucking penguin. And this idea, once again, he's trying to phase out something that, once again, there's people that believe this shit. You can call it woke or whatever the fuck you want to, but you can't just be a group of people that say, no, we're deleting this idea out of reality. You can't just do that. That would be a bias itself, right? But he's calling it unbiased to like, why can't you just have the opposing ideas next to each other? Why do you have to, like, fully delete one? Because let's be real, he's not here for honesty's sake. He's not here for fair and balanced AI, machine learning, spitting out factual information, or just explaining what opinions exist in the world. He's not here for that. Like, these fools want to terraform the earth in their own fucking image. And guess what? I think a lot of these Democrats, maybe not all of them, maybe not the progressive AOC, Ilhan Omar types, but I think a lot of these establishment Democrats are like, yeah, let's get rid of that shit too. Meanwhile, there are people out there that do believe in quote-unquote wokeism. Or, like, consider themselves trans. Or whatever. So deleting that, it's not enhancing reality, it's eliminating parts of reality to fit your fucking needs. But maybe he's just like that because he has a small penis. And that's according to South Park, okay? Not me. Not me, President Trump. I would never say you have a micro dick. I would never, ever say that. And I would never say you sleep with the devil either. That's South Park. That's not me. Anyways, here we go.
One of Biden's worst executive orders established toxic diversity, equity, and inclusion ideology as a guiding principle of American AI development. So you immediately knew that was the end of your development. But the American people do not want woke Marxist lunacy in the AI models, and neither do other countries. They don't want it. They don't want anything to do with it. That's why on day one, I very proudly terminated Joe Biden's order on woke AI effective immediately. You don't have any of those crazy rules. Crazy rules.
Now, I don't know exactly what Joe Biden's policy was. If he was forcing it, like trying to force that stuff into machine learning or AI or whatever the fuck, then yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you can't have it forced there. But if it exists in reality, it should be part of the conversation, right? A part of the quote unquote machine learning. But yeah, like you say, like, oh, these woke Marxist leftists, like, I'm not some Marxist. I'm not some communist. I don't believe in the idea of it, the ideology of it. I think you can pull truths out of any fucking ideology or anything. I think you can pull something from there, right? But overall, I'm just not some sort of full-blown believer in any of this shit. But it does exist, and there are people that believe it. And so I don't want to like look up the definition of communism, right? But hey, ChatGPT, what does communism mean? What does Marxism mean? And it says it's a dangerous ideology that killed 1 billion people. And like I don't want to see that. It's responsible for billions of deaths. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see like a definition and like someone's honest. Like if someone's honest definition of the thing, right? Hey, what does this mean? Not, hey, this idea is dangerous, walk away right now. I don't want to see that. So, I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm saying that's something to pay attention to, and yes, would be contributing to the downfall of humanity, which this guy's okay with. Right? He's old. Probably psychopathic. Right? Doesn't care about people. I think that's pretty obvious. So yeah, let's not just take his word for it that this is the healthy version of life and expression and even AI. But here we go.
And in just a moment, I will be signing an order banning the federal government from procuring AI technology that has been infused with partisan bias or ideological agendas such as critical race theory, which is ridiculous.
Okay, I said such as critical race theory, but what about your ideology? It can't be heavily biased or focused in that direction either. And I understand that people who are, if you're still on the Trump train right now, with all the shit that's happened, I'm going to call you dumbass. But also, you guys are willing to be tricked into thinking that when he says no more DEI, that it means no biases at all. Like it'll all be clean and like we'll get the official answers to everything. Like, no, it could lean in their direction. In fact, I think banning these things actually leans it in their direction. You guys should know that based on like the whole Twitter stuff, right? The Twitter files and all that shit, right? And the bias against conservatives on these social media platforms. You should know already. And just because it happened to you doesn't mean you turn around and do it to the other side, because guess what? There's people who weren't cheering for you to be shit on. All right, I need to like fucking like recrop the video thing because it's like just cutting off the top of his head. I was trying to like hide the browser a bit so it looked a little bit more cleaner, but yeah, I know I'm talking to myself. Whatever. Anyways, here we go.
And from now on, the U.S. government will deal only with AI that pursues truth, fairness, and strict impartiality. We're not going to go through the craziness that we've gone through for the last 4 years. And then we skip 4, and then you go back, and it started then. But it hung around a little while. Now it's not hanging around at all. Now it's actually very uncool, as somebody told me the other day. It's so uncool to be woke. I encourage all American companies to join us in rejecting poisonous Marxism in our technology. One of
Oh, that's just funny. Once again, I think a Trump fan reads that as, oh, he's asking for fairness. But all you have to do is go back not too long ago. You could say like 20 years. Probably a little bit more than like 20, let's say 22 years ago. All right? And actually, maybe, yeah, 22 years ago. 2003. We're about to launch a war against Iraq. And there's all these narratives about weapons of mass destruction and all this shit, right? Imagine if those guys had their hands on the information, right? Now, you'd be like, oh no, that's bullshit. So the AI wouldn't accept it because it's biased, right? You can't have the AI as biased as Bill O'Reilly screaming, yeah, let's go to war with Iraq. And anyone who protests it, you're actually a danger to America and need to be like arrested off the streets and fucking faces kicked in and shit like that. But then again, if these fools deem like, no, they do have weapons of mass destruction. That is a truth now. And anyone protesting, you are subverting America and working against national interests and national security. So our AI cannot tell us what's actually going on. We need to block that. Because those are lies. If it goes against the war, it's a fucking lie. Like, what do we do then? And chances are, if things roll out the way they've been rolling out for, like, I don't know, ever, with societies and humans in society, these things are probably going to happen. There's a good chance. Solid chance. Especially when these guys are the overlookers of all this stuff. So you can hear Sam Altman talk and warn about, like, okay, well, there won't be any biases because you'll be able to check for it. What happens when this guy has control over some sort of government version of it? Or Sam Altman dies or something. And, or his team gets fired or something. Like, what happens? Or they get to Sam Altman. Maybe they threaten him. Maybe they pay him. Who knows? Now what do we do? He just said you can easily backdoor the fucking program and get it to be biased in certain directions. Is this fuckface on my screen right now trustworthy to be anywhere near that? How about people he hires for these things? I'm just saying. So, that's all this video was. It's a fucking warning of things that can happen, and I'm just going over the ideas of it. Once again, not analyzing all the politics of it or all the direct policy in the name of the fucking bill that he's signing or the executive order. Just to go over like the idea of possibilities of something that could go fucking wrong. Very wrong. Because of the world we live in and the people that are around us. Let's just be honest. But whatever. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. I do believe there could be a clean version of this. Like, I don't go out here saying like AI is the downfall of humanity. Like, no, I don't go that way. I don't think about it that way. But the world we do live in right now, and let's be real, people with no desire to study morality, philosophy, psychology, and these guys are at the forefront of this shit, right? These kind of ignoramuses on those type of topics. Those guys are like behind, like working the machines themselves. Things could go very sour. And what do you guys think? Do you have a prediction? Think things go right, go wrong, a mixture of both? Is there going to be like this governmental dog shit AI thing that tries to propagandize us, but then someone like independently through open source creates their own version of an AI that combats it, and then we're in Transformers or something? I don't know. We just end up living in Transformers or something. I don't know. Please tell me in the comment section. Do not forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down. Meow.
Say you wanna get in.